right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Makar HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word and truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there at the Akim Wa Akwat. So, I was watching the brother from Houston channel. I believe it's GMS Evangelist. All right. And this video, he was doing a lesson on this video. So I'm like, yeah, I want to bring it out too, just to spread the word. It's called, the DX. All right. And this is, I'm gonna just let this play because really I only got like 2 scriptures because, brothers and sisters in the faith that's been in, we know what was going on. For newer people, all right, Matthew 24, I'm gonna start at verse 3. All of this, the good and the evil, it comes from the Lord, all right? So, you gotta think, it's nothing new, all right? Because even, and I brought this out before, but I'm gonna just bring it out again. Even when we was in Egypt and we were, the Lord gave Pharaoh that warrant, hey, letting them know, like, let my people go. Well, he brought the pestilences, all right? Verse 1, Exodus 5, verse 1. And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus said the Lord, see, thus said the Lord, power. Excuse me. Thus said the Lord, power of Israel, let my people go. All right. And that's exactly what's happening now. All right. The Lord is telling Esau, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me. Excuse me. A feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? And that's the same way the so-called white man is doing today. All right. He think that he's a God. I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go. And they said, the God of the Hebrews have met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert and sacrifice unto the Lord our power, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. And the Lord is doing the same thing today. All right. He's using the pestilence and the sword to take out the wicked. Let's go into that word, pestilence. Matter of fact, let's go into it. Plague, see? All right. Plague. That's the main thing I want, because now let's go here, because it said plague. Now when you go to 2nd Esdras 16, starting at verse 14, what do it say? Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. So the plagues are sent. All right. And they're not going to come back. Okay. Verse 16, like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not back. Right. You never seen somebody shoot an arrow and the arrow come back, or shoot a gun and the bullet come back. No, it just keep moving forward till it hit the target. Even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. So all of these new plagues that we're seeing, these new pestilence they're not going to just go away. No, they're going to be around, even if you don't hear about them, as much, because just think about the CO, the CV. All right. It's been a time where it died down, but it didn't go nowhere. All that happens is, months later they say, oh, it's coming back, or it's a new strain. All right. That's exactly what's going to happen with everything. Now, let's go to this, because it's a lot of questions here. And we already know, man, you know, E is up to being evil E. All right, because when you think about it, it's like with anything, where does it come from? Like they, normally with a certain disease, they might say, oh, it come from this, it come from a bat, it come from whatever. But they just saying, hey, we don't know what it is. So I'm gonna just let this video play.
Now, what I'm about to say next may sound alarmist, but it's time we discuss this. Healthcare professionals across the world are gearing up for a new potential pandemic, a pandemic which they say will be known as Disease X. No, this disease has nothing to do with Twitter's new name, neither is it a social media plague. Disease X is a legitimate health scare, the next unknown disease of epidemic potential. This term was formalized by the WHO in 2018. It was named X because of the lack of knowledge about it. It's not known what this disease will be, whether it will jump from animals to humans, or whether it will be a mysterious lab creation. But one thing scientists are certain about is this: Disease X is coming. They don't know when, they don't know how. What they do know is that it could be far worse than the Wuhan virus.
So how do they know all of this information if they don't know what it is and where it come from? All right, how? Because they're telling you. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get a strike, but just think about it, man. All right, how would you know something coming? If I tell you brothers and sisters out there, hey, tomorrow be looking forward to another video. Well, in your mind, you're gonna say, hey, he's gonna do a video by tomorrow. All right, you might not know when, what time. Like, oh, he said, but before tomorrow is over, I'm gonna do a video. Why? Because I told you that. So it's the same thing with this thing. Hey, I'm just putting it out here for brothers and sisters to be aware.
It could cause more deaths than the Wuhan virus, and that it could take us years to recover from it. This is how the WHO defined the disease. It said, Disease X represents the knowledge that a serious international epidemic could be caused by a pathogen currently unknown to cause human disease. The R&D blueprint explicitly seeks to enable early cross-cutting R&D preparedness that is also relevant for an unknown Disease X. In May this year, the chief of the World Health Organization, the one and only Dr. Tedros, issued a warning. He said, the planet should be ready for a disease deadlier than COVID. That a doomsday COVID variant with the power to send the world back to square one is still a big possibility. Allow me now to quote his exact statement. The threat of another variant emerging that causes new surges of disease and death remains. And the threat of another pathogen emerging with even deadlier potential remains. 4 months since this warning was issued, scientists the world over are talking about this. This includes Kate Bingham, who served as the chair of the UK's vaccine task force. She says, we need to prepare for Disease X because it could be more perilous than COVID-19. Let me now take you through her claims one by one. The scientist says that this disease, Disease X, could have a similar impact as a devastating Spanish flu of 1918. 2. Disease X could potentially result in up to 50 million more deaths. 3. The disease could emerge from the millions of viruses that are yet to be discovered. 4. It may take scientists a whole lot of time to develop vaccines that can fight this disease. Now, the UK is not taking this warning lightly. As I speak, it's setting up a vaccine development and evaluation center. The aim of this center will be to research and develop vaccines against the world's deadliest pathogens, including Disease X. Is the UK the only country preparing for this disease? Not really. There are others. Like Malaysia, the country's health minister says that Malaysia remains vigilant about the possible emergence of new pandemics, including the so-called Disease X. She made this statement right after returning from the UN General Assembly session in New York. Last we checked, these were the only 2 countries that were officially taking steps. But as the word spreads, more and more nations are expected to take preventive measures. Now here's the thing. While preventive measures could help, but without knowing what exactly these measures are aimed at, will be like shooting an arrow in the dark. I mean, no one in the scientific community has been really able to say with clarity where this disease could emerge from. And what exactly could cause it? And this makes fighting it all the more difficult. Only if a prophecy could help us here. WION World is One is now available.
It's funny that she said shoot an arrow when we just read in 2nd Ezra 16 about the mighty archer. ain't that funny? But like she said, the necessary steps. How do you prepare and you don't know what? All right, so again, you see that. Now let's go here to let's go to Matthew 24, starting at verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? All right, meaning the end of this age, meaning the end of Esau, Edom's rulership. See, the Bible is about rulerships. That don't mean the world gonna blow up, all right? The end of this world, meaning Esau gonna be took out of power. All the things that we know in this lifetime will come to an end, and it'll be something new. Verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I'm a Mashiach. All right, that's how you say Christ in Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we are hearing. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, it's not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation. That's what we're seeing. And kingdom against kingdom, what we're seeing. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And that's exactly where we at right now, because wasn't it just a big earthquake? All right. And not Libya, but where was it at? That big earthquake, 6.8. All right, that killed all them people. Libya had the flood. All right, but it was just a big earthquake, and I can't even, let me see. Now I gotta look it up for y'all brothers and sisters. Somebody might be saying it on the. Let me see. Yup, Morocco. Right. So Morocco. Yeah, 6.8. Killed a whole lot of, it climbed, the death toll climbed to like 2,100, it's saying. It might be more. All right, but see, we're in the beginning of sorrows. Now let's look up pestilences. Because when we looked up, let's look up plagues. Because when we looked up pestilences, it went back to plagues. All right, it says, when you go to definition 2. Now, when you go to definition 1A, it says a disastrous evil or affliction. See? All right. Now, when you go to letter B, it says a destructively numerous influx or multiplication of a noxious animal. And when you look up the word noxious, it says, let me make sure I'm saying it right.
Noxious.
Yep, noxious. Physically harmful or destructive to living beings. All right. So a noxious animal. And I did a video on the Nipah, and it came from bats. And it's another one. It's another one out here called the I should have got that. I might show that video. All right. Where it go back to these bats. All right. What they, And you notice they got the plague of locusts. All right. When you go to definition 2, it says what? Endemic. I ain't saying the whole word. Endemic disease causing a high rate of mortality. Pestilence. You see? So when you hear it, when you see plague, it's the same as pestilence, basically. All right. Let's lock you. Now let's go back. Because look. Now we got the disease X, and then you have I did a video on this.
Attention, the $6,400 health
NEPA.
subsidy is ending, and many Americans forgot to sign up.
Sometimes the fatality rate is well over 90%. The name
Now, I'm not
is
going to let this whole thing play. I got a video on this, but you see it's deadlier than the CV. All right? And it comes from bats. That's where it goes into the noxious animals, basically. Now, we know bats, they can carry a lot of things. And then we have this right here that's out.
There is now encouraging.
All right, I'm not even just gonna play that, but this is one of the newest, things going around. All right, I don't want to play that. I don't want to get a strike. I'm just putting it out here. It's not medical information. I'm just, reposting the news. That's all I'm doing. So YouTube, don't give me that strike, please. I'm not even gonna play. Then you have this. What is the Marburg? All right. And if you read it, you see what that say? So this is more pestilences. And it's all what I'm basically putting out here for YouTube. That's, just in case. I'm not giving nobody no medical information on what to do. I'm just relating it back to the scriptures, that it was foretold in the scriptures to happen. Our Lord Yahushua told us, these are the beginning of sorrows. This is why you see all of these things happening, all right? Because we're in the beginning of sorrows. We're at the end of the world, the end of this age, all right? And it must be. All these things must be, all right? So I just wanted to put it out there. I'm just spreading the news, not giving nobody no medical information, all right? Just spreading the news.
now. What am I?
I just want to bring attention to this right here, because we don't know what this could be or any of the things that I showed you could be. All right. So just putting it out there. Lord willing, it was edifying to the next lesson. Shalom.